You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us.
Pretty great. First Oscar nomination. It also must be so lovely. Sometimes when people get nominated for an Oscar, it's a great chance to draw attention to a film that maybe people missed. It must be so cool to be nominated an Oscar for one of the few films in recent years where nobody missed. Like, you don't have to say, yeah, I got nominated for this movie, Marby. How would I explain it? Like, everybody knows what it is.
I think, yeah, by now.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you have any sense of any of this while you were making it? That one, it would be a sort of cultural phenomenon, and two, that you would get this sort of, you know, overdue attention that you've never received?
No, not that part of it. I mean, I think when I read the script, I thought, oh my God, this is something else. Like, it's funny and subversive, and like the Barbie movie no one asked for, right? But it was doing so many things, and Greta and Noah's writing was just unbelievable. And I think everyone who read the script knew that they were getting involved in something very special.
Another thing that is very unique to a career before someone gets nominated for an award like this is not just the award press, but you are going to all these events where you get to keep seeing the nominees over and over again. You were just at a luncheon. I heard you tell a story about how you met Martin Scorsese and were starstruck.
I did, yeah. I met him. I said hi.
It's so weird to think about people who've been in show business as long as you have been getting starstruck. Have you found it happening more often than not at these events?
You know, it's interesting. Yeah, it'll sneak up on you. And more often than not, it's like someone you had a childhood connection to, right?
Yes.
So it's always like very embarrassing. I'm like debating, like, do I even want to say this out loud? But like, okay, I watched Titanic in the movie theaters 7 times.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, 13, 14, prime time to be in love with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Okay. So at the first time I went to the SAG Awards, and I had won for Ugly Betty, and I had been on stage and the whole thing, and you know, so you think like I was, you know, feeling kind of like I belong here. This is cool. And then Leonardo DiCaprio was there, and I said hello to him, and I promptly departed him and went around the corner and just started weeping. And my husband, then boyfriend, was with me, and he was like, I am so embarrassed right now. Like this is so, like, stop crying. And I was like, but it's Leonardo. And now I hope Leonardo DiCaprio never sees this.
Yeah.
Yes.
The good news, he probably won't. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say mine, I was hosting an Emmys, and I walked backstage after doing something, and, you know, I was on hosting an Emmy High, and I walked backstage, and the next presenter was Julia Roberts, who had never just seen Julia Roberts in person.
And
it was the same thing. I walked by her, she was like, hey, good job. I was like, oh, thanks, so nice to meet you. Walked around, full cry.
Really? Me too.
And my wife wasn't with me, but I FaceTimed her because I wanted her to see it.
It also just happened just a couple weeks ago at the Governor's Awards. So, like, growing up, people were like, oh, like, who did you want to be? Like, Salma Hayek or, like, J-Lo? And I was like, Tom Hanks. I wanted to be Tom Hanks. Like, that was my goal. And just a couple weeks ago, he came up to me, and he said very nice things to me. And it was like I was in 7 different timelines at the same time. I was like 8, I was 10, I was 14, I was 80, remembering this on my deathbed. I was like, was just so crazy. I was like, if he knew what was happening in my mind right now. But he was saying really nice things to me, and I was trying to like remember every single thing he said, and at the same time I was shaking and terrified that I was gonna start crying in front of him.
He is a very special person I've been lucky enough to meet who is exactly what you need them to be.
Everything you
He
want
is
Tom
the best
Hanks to be.
version of Tom Hanks the entire time you're with him.
He plays Tom Hanks very well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is really special. Certain people like that who do the kind of work at the level he did, it would be so ruinous if you met them and they weren't. It's an incredible burden on
be
Tom
awful.
Hanks, but he really delivers every single time.
Yes, he really does.
You met another star. One of the finer movies of the year, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes, I love
It's
that
a
movie.
fantastic film.
Yes.
And there's a great dog actor in it,
Yeah.
Messi. Messi plays Snoop.
Snoop
And
Dogg.
you met the dog at one of these parties.
I did. I met the actual Snoop.
Yeah.
He was there, and I was like, and I got down and I told him what a great job he'd done.
And it's funny because I do like, it is sort of, you know, I don't know, it sometimes feels like comic books where you're watching, oh my God, Batman is meeting Superman, this is so cool. And usually it's two actors, but it was really cool when I saw a video of you actually going and talking to this dog actor, like they could understand you.
I tried to do that to Tom Hanks, and he wasn't.
Oh, you did that to
into
Tom
it.
Hanks? Yeah, you
Like-
can't. That's, I will say, Tom Hanks is so nice, but if you do this, he turns. It is not the Hanks you want to hang out with.
You know, I've always been partial to dog actors.
Have you really?
Yeah.
When was the first dog actor you felt this connection with?
Well, I had this amazing opportunity to go to the very last taping of Full House ever, and
Okay.
that's another, like, you know, childhood staple for me. And I really just wanted to meet Comet the dog.
Really?
Yeah, that's
And
it.
did you?
I did.
Wow.
I know. I wish I'd brought a picture. I'll send it to you.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I might not show anybody, but I am going to keep it for myself.
Yeah.
What a pleasure to have you back on the show. Congratulations on your nomination. America Ferrera, everybody. Barbie, now streaming on Max. Stick around. Be right back with more Late Night.